Alright guys, got another quick video here for you, and by the time you see this one, the beta will probably already be out. You'll probably be able to test this stuff yourself, but let's take a look at fearmonger here, and Aaron Donald should definitely be a fearmonger. You know, I'm not mad about that, and I love the fact that there's an option here where pressure can actually bust pipes. If you take a look at this here in slow speed here, he doesn't even have to make the sack. But the fear of him, the fear mongering, if you will, if that's a word, the fear of his presence will cause Russell Wilson to throw an incomplete pass, and I think that is absolutely phenomenal. I can't wait to test these things on my own. You know, like I said, by the time you see this, I'll more than likely be playing the beta. You may be playing the beta, but this is great stuff. You know, the sense of pressure. It's not always about getting a sack. You know, I even say that when I watch my own team. You know, when I watch the Steelers in the real world, a lot of you guys know I do podcasts on the Steelers. You know, I judge players based on their effectiveness and how the effect that they have on the game. And this is great to see, where you can have a dominant defensive player and his sheer presence can create, you know, pressure, you know, in an incomplete pass or interception or whatever the result might be. So that's the positive thing that I see here in terms of the pressure and, you know, respecting Aaron Donald and just the push he's getting up the middle right there. It's beautiful to see that push as he's gonna, you know, push Lupati. I believe that's how you pronounce his name. Pushes him back, you know, closer to Russell Wilson, and you're gonna see that sense of pressure, and he throws an accurate pass. But the next thing I want to talk about here, guys, coming up in the very next clip, and then we'll wrap this video up. These are the things that I don't necessarily like, man. You know, you've heard me talk about situational animations or, you know, triggering the same animation. Take a look at what happens here. Aaron Donald, once again, you know, he's going to beat the guard I believe he's going up against in this scenario and gets the sack, right? But what I don't like is you're going to see another example with him lined up on the right side of the offense here against the Redskins, and it's going to be the exact same animation. Okay, so things like this, you know, this is what you can basically, you know, follow what I'm saying when I always say I want to see more dynamic outcomes and dynamic situations in the pocket, in the trenches, etc., etc. And that's what I mean. You know, I want to see more dynamic and organic animations and outcomes. You know, why is it producing the same exact animation? And that's just because that's the one that is pulling out of the animation bank. I understand that. But if the trenches were truly more dynamic, you should see all kinds of different outcomes. I want to see animations based off of physics, leverage, physical mass, etc., etc. You know, I don't want to just see a win or loss animation and you know, you're going to see the same animation repeating itself quite often. So again, those are the type of things, man, that I discuss in Madden 19. These are the type of things I would like to see less of here in Madden 20. And hopefully it is more parity. You know, hopefully there are more animations, and you know, maybe this was just a bad example. But again, we got to keep it fair. We got to keep it fair across the board. We all know that we see these type of situations in Madden 19. So again, if I'm being the SimFBallCritic, as my name says, I have to call it fair, and I have to call it for what it is and try to get this game and give, you know, the most feedback I can give to get this game to be the best that it can be. Now, of course, you know, again, I'm going to take some of the footage with a grain of salt. It's on Arcade. You know, you heard Smitty and myself talk about that last night if you tuned in to the Sim Standard podcast. But I don't think that Arcade has that much influence over the gameplay. And things like this, you know, I don't know. I don't know if it affects what animation triggers, etc., etc. Either way, I would like to see more dynamic play and more, you know, diverse outcomes and animations and things of that nature due to a dynamic pocket and a dynamic trench battle. All right, so that's all I got. Like I said, man, the next time you hear from me, I'll probably be giving you some information or, you know, some opinions on what I see from the beta, and let's just hope for the best. All right, if you haven't already, make sure you do subscribe, hit that like button, cut on your notifications, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.